Hi guys. I was just mulling around the garage really, looking for something to do at 1:30 in the morning, and I didn't fancy starting on the fan because I've been working on that for a while now, which is looking pretty good. So I'm not sure if you'll have seen that one by the time this video comes out or not, but that'll be the fan coffee table. But I've had this on my shelf for a while, and as you just saw, I just had a little polish because the polishing wheel was set up to go. I thought, I'll see what it comes up like. How awesome is that? That came up absolutely amazing. I've not even finished it yet. I'm so impressed by it. Now this drill was actually my grandpa's, so he's not been around for a long time unfortunately, but when I got doing it I was thinking to myself, what can I do that for? Because I don't tend to sell my stuff, I do things for people as gifts, and I think this is going to be my dad's, or as the kids call him, grandpa, birthday present, which is in 3 months time, so I've got a bit of time to do it. Now I've seen a few lamps and stuff made of drills, said to be in the top. I'm not sure why they do that, so I'm thinking I may do something similar. However, I want to mount mine like that, and I'm not sure how easy it's going to be, but I'm going to try and drill through the chuck at the end. Unfortunately, I spent half an hour last night trying to drill through the hardened steel and then the chuck, and I wasn't getting anywhere, so I tried just about every drill bit I had, hoping I had something that was good enough. So today I've had to go out and fetch a cobalt drill for hopefully drilling through hardened steel. We shall see. Well, that was a total nightmare. It took me about half an hour to get through there. In the end I had to cut 3 angles on the end of the drill bit just so it didn't slip in the chuck and it wasn't pushing in anymore. However, you can now see daylight, so I'm hoping we can get some wires through that and we'll have no wires showing on the outside of the drill. Hopefully now we can get the wires with the switch to go into the proper end of the drill. It'll go through here. There's a gap underneath the back of the motor where the bushes are, which comes through to the front. I've somehow got to get past that plate, so I'll probably have to drill a hole in there, which is a shame, but that's the only way I can see of getting past there really without busting the bearing out or something. And then within there should be a nice little cavity where we can connect the main cable to the cable which goes up to the bulbs, which will be in the upside down light shade. So I'm going to strip that of all the paint as well, so it's bare metal. I'm planning to use a smaller hole saw than the red one actually now. It just seems more in proportion with the drill. It's quite a small drill, and the red one was a bit on the big side. Bulb wise, or LED wise, I'm using tiny little G4s, so I'm hoping that'll fit within there with the holder. We'll see. So I may have to go bigger after all, but the holders haven't arrived yet, so we shall see. So I've got to create a stand for the drill. Initially I thought something like that, but that's just too chunky and metal. Too much metal. And then I thought maybe a bit nice wood, something a bit softer. I don't like it. I don't like it. And I really like the nut. I think the nut takes away from the drill. I kind of wanted the drill to be the focus of the lamp, really. So then I started building, or bending some wire to make a frame to hold it. And I split it because it was a crap idea and it looked garbage anyway. And I thought maybe I could modify the heating element. But that was stupid, didn't like that. So then I found this. And this actually works really, really well. So it kind of sits on that. If I put a base on the bottom of there, for it to sit on, it would actually sit in place and it holds it quite tightly. But it looks like a crap hook that you put on a garage wall, which it is. So the last thing I've found is, it's actually a bit of an old speaker. However, I reckon if I drill a small hole in that little indentation at the top and drill and tap or weld a spike onto that, it'll fit on there quite nicely. And it should sit, it should be enough to stop it from falling over. I'll paint it black so you can't see it, and then the drill is the focus of the piece, which is what it should be, because it's awesome. Okay, last little bit. Now this is usually quite tricky. I find this bit sort of stuff tricky anyway when you're connecting such as the pipe there to the hole saw. Obviously I'm not using the original arbor, so it's somehow got to link the two together. So we've got the chuck which I've drilled through, and it goes into a piece of aluminium pipe. That's hopefully going to fit on there and stick up by about 10 mil or so it looks nice and realistic. To hold it into the hole saw, I cut a piece of wood. I need to paint that white or silver to make it reflective and smarten it up a bit. But that's quite a tight fit in this central pipe. So when I go through there, so I'm not going to do it now because I don't want to make it loose. It's a real tight fit. I might put a blob of glue in there just to hold it as well, to be sure. To hold the wood into the hole saw, I got a couple of these out of my big box of bits, random parts from a washing machine or something probably. But they are quite low profile, so when they're on there, hopefully they'll be pretty much invisible. And also they allow for a nut to go on the end, so because I can clamp through and clamp it down, it means I can also put a little electrical connector on there. So I've got a good earth at the top of the drill, and also I can connect an earth inside the housing of the actual drill itself. So we're nice and safe. And then the last thing is a diffuser. So I took the central part out of the arbor, put this back on, and using that I actually cut from an old diffuser from a strip light a diffuser for this. So if I don't have the hole in the middle because I took the central drill out of it. I'm not going to push it in now because I don't want it to get stuck, and it's quite a tight fit. But it should all look pretty good when it's done, I think. Right, so I've got me a bit of pipe which goes in the end of the chuck, the two lamp holders which are fed through it, and also a chunky earth wire. I just need to put the electrical connector on the end. So I've cut these out of a piece of spare diffuser I had. Basically you can see through the slots at the side. I didn't want it to be really bright compared to the top. I thought it would look a bit rubbish. So I'm going to glue these down the sides first of all. So just make it a frosted side hole there. I'm going to drop a blob of glue in the middle of it as well, just to try and take some of that wobble out. I dropped a little bit of bollock. I realised last night when I was constructing this that I'd ordered 12 volt LEDs instead of 240, which is what I thought I'd got. But then I kind of thought to myself, well, when these came, the wire seemed quite thin on these holders. So I checked the listing. I got these from on eBay, and they're 12 volt as well. So yeah, double whammy of mistakes there. No big deal really. I've probably got an unnecessary earth in there now, but it's no big issue. I've ordered a 12 volt plug-in transformer, which was £8 on eBay, and that'll go as a plug-in, and I'll fit that before the switch on the power lead, and then continue as we are. Drilled a neat little hole in the top there. Right, all back together again. Looking good. So I've just got to connect the wires together now. So I was just going to use a standard chock block for that. So it's only low voltage now, so I don't have to worry too much. I'll just tape it over to keep it stop anything shorting out. I've got a bit hung up on earths. Don't know why, because they're probably not even relevant being low voltage now. I realised that the earth I'd fed from the bulbs wasn't quite long enough to go through the drill to the point in the handle there, which is a bit annoying. So I've put an extension on there to which I'll connect at the front, and I've also split the cable, pulled the earth back from this main wire here, and that'll connect to the same good earth point as well. Okay, all connected to the chock block. Just put a bit of tape on there to make sure it's nothing shorts. And I'm hoping I can get these two halves back together again. So, it's not going to work, guys. The end of the chuck goes into there. Oh no. Well, that was an absolute nightmare. Basically, because I didn't account for the back of the cog there going into the brass bush, which stopped the wires going through. I've had to basically chop the end of the back of that off to give me space to get them through. It's kind of a shame because I was trying to keep the drill as complete as possible. I wanted it not to be damaged as such, even though I've drilled through the chuck. But I guess if that's been chopped off, there's no point in putting that back in either. So I might as well give myself as much space as possible in here for the connectors to go in. See if we can get it back together again. Come on. Okay, plugs come off. The transformers arrived off eBay. It cost less than £8 delivered. I've soldered and shrinked it together. I'm not entirely happy with it, so it's pretty solid, but I might get a decent connector for it at some point. But we are good to test. I'll pop the bulbs in there, so keep your fingers crossed. I'm going to plug it in. Ooh, blue lights on. Hey! Pat test. Not dead. Excellent. So I'm going to construct it all, put it all together now. Give it a polish. There we have him. It's all done. I think I prefer it sideways. Yeah, that's better. Awesome.